This is called Do You Want to Be My Friend? And this little mouse is going to look at animals and he looks at their tails. And then we have to guess what animal is going to be on the next page. Do you want to be my friend? What kind of animal has a tail like that? It's a horse. See that? Do you want to be my friend?
A crocodile.
Yep, and a bird too. Do you want to be my friend?
A lion.
A lion, good job. Do you want to be my friend? That one's a really short tail. What could it be? It's a hippopotamus. Good job. Do you want to be my friend? Oh, that's a crazy tail.
A seal.
Yeah. Do you want to be my friend? This one has a long curly tail. It can use it to swing on trees. What do you think it could do? It's a monkey. Good job. Do you want to be my friend? It's a
Peacock.
good job. Do you want to be my friend? Let's see. It's a fox. Do you want to be my friend?
A kangaroo.
Yep, a kangaroo. Do you want to be my friend? Look, this one's way up high. It's a really tall animal. It's a
Giraffe.
Yep, it's a giraffe. Do you want to be my friend? Look, it has the same tail as this one. What do you think it could be?
Mouse.
It's a mouse. Good job. Do you want to be my friend? This tail goes all the way. Oh, it keeps going. Oh, it's a snake. I don't think the mice want to be friends with the snake. This one's called Little Skink's Tail. It's all about tails. It's a tale about tails. Little Skink basked on a big yellow rock in the rays of the morning sun. Her chilly body soon turned snugly warm. She twitched her bright blue tail. The little lizard was ready to start her day. Leaping to the forest floor, she poked her pointy nose into a crack in a rotting log and looked for breakfast. Sniff, sniff, she smelled ants. She loved ants. Gobble, 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 she gulped down one ant after another. Her tummy was almost full when she felt a peck on her tail. It was a large, hungry crow. Little Skink was trapped. There was no way to run, but she had a trick. Quicker than the crow could blink, Little Skink snapped off her bright blue tail. Wiggle, waggle, wiggle went the tail, wriggling wildly through the fallen leaves. The crow forgot all about Little Skink. It wanted that wiggling, waggling tail. As the crow bounced this way and that, Little Skink slinked under a log. She was safe. Her wiggling, waggling tail had saved her. The next morning, as Little Skink basked on her rock, she felt a little sad. She missed her bright blue tail, even though she was happy to be alive. See, she doesn't have a tail anymore. As she lay basking and thinking, a cottontail rabbit hopped in front of her rock. I wonder how I'd look with a tail like that, Little Skink thought. She pictured her new look. Very cute, she thought to herself, but too puffy fluffy. That would look funny, huh? Next, she tried a squirrel's tail. It's fun to flick and fluff, she said, but it's too bushy. Day after day, Little Skink imagined herself wearing the tail of every animal she met. A deer's tail. Look, I can wave it like a little flag, she said, but it's too short and stubby. See, that's what the skink looks like with a deer tail. A skunk's tail. P.U., said Little Skink. Stinky, stinky, stinky. A porcupine's tail is too stickly prickly, she said. An owl's tail. A lizard with feathers, she exclaimed. I don't think so. A turtle's tail. Too pointy, said Little Skink. While all were fine tails, not one was quite right for her. Then one day, as she scampered onto her sunny rock, her shadow caught her eye. Her shadow had a tail. She whipped around. Sure enough, her tail had grown back. A skink needs a skink's tail, she said, and her tail dreaming days were over. Her tail grew back. Cool, huh? The end. Little Beaver and the Echo. Little Beaver lived all alone by the edge of a big pond. He didn't have any brothers. He didn't have any sisters. Worst of all, he didn't have any friends. One day, sitting by the side of the pond, he began to cry. He cried out loud, then he cried out louder. Suddenly, he heard something very strange. On the other side of the pond, someone else was crying too. Little Beaver stopped crying and listened. The other crying stopped. Little Beaver was alone again. "Boo-hoo," he said. "Boo-hoo," said the voice from across the pond. "Wah," said Little Beaver. "Wah," said the voice from across the pond. Little Beaver stopped crying. "Hello," he called. "Hello," said the voice across the pond. "Why are you crying?" asked Little Beaver. "Why are you crying?" asked the voice from across the pond. Little Beaver thought for a moment. "I'm lonely," he said. "I need a friend." "I'm lonely," said the voice from across the pond. "I need a friend." Little Beaver couldn't believe it. On the other side of the pond lived somebody else who was sad and needed a friend. He got right into his boat and set off to find him. It was a big pond. He paddled and paddled. Then he saw a young duck swimming in circles all by himself. "I'm looking for someone who needs a friend," said Little Beaver. "Was it you who was crying?" "I do need a friend," said the duck, "but it wasn't me who was crying." "I'll be your friend," said Little Beaver. "Come with me." So the duck jumped into the boat. They paddled and paddled. Then they saw a young otter sliding up and down the bank all by himself. "We're looking for someone who needs a friend," said Little Beaver. "Was it you who was crying?" "I do need a friend," said the otter, "but it wasn't me who was crying." "We'll be your friend," said Little Beaver and the duck. "Come with us." So the otter jumped into the boat. They paddled and paddled. Then they saw a young turtle sunning himself all alone on a rock. "We're looking for someone who needs a friend," said Little Beaver. "Was it you who was crying?" "I do need a friend," said the turtle, "but it wasn't me who was crying." "We'll be your friends," said Little Beaver and the duck and the otter. "Come with us." So the turtle jumped into the boat, and they paddled and paddled until they came to the end of the pond. Here lived a wise old beaver in a mud house all alone. Little Beaver told him how they had paddled all around the pond to find out who was crying. It wasn't the duck, he said. It wasn't the otter, and it wasn't the turtle. Who was it? It was the Echo, said the wise old beaver. "Where does he live?" asked Little Beaver. "On the other side of the pond," said the wise old beaver. "No matter where you are, the Echo is always across the pond from you." "Why is he crying?" said Little Beaver. "When you are sad, the Echo is sad," said the wise old beaver. "When you are happy, the Echo is happy too." "But how can I find him and be his friend?" said Little Beaver. "He doesn't have any friends, and neither do I." "Except for me," said the duck. "And me," said the otter. "And me," said the turtle. Little Beaver looked surprised. "Yes," he said, "I have lots of friends now." And he was so happy that he said it again very loudly. "I have lots of friends now." From across the pond a voice answered him. "I have lots of friends now." "You see," said the wise old beaver, "when you're happy, the Echo is happy. When you have friends, he has friends too." "Hooray!" shouted Little Beaver and the duck and the otter and the turtle all together. And the Echo shouted back to them, "Hooray!" The end. This is Brewski, leopard gecko. See how cool his tail is? His tail is important because it has lots of nutrients in it. That's why it's so fat. See how his tail is really fat? He feels really cool. He has a soft tail. Come try it. Look at all the colors on his tail. See, there's orange and yellow and pink and purple.